What's up, guys? Iceman here. So in this video I'm going to show off some of my Godzilla toys, many of which are by NECA, which I think does a damn good job. First off though, I'm going to show you off this one. This one here is from 1985, and it's actually by Imperial, or Toho is what it's branded. Toho, the owners of Godzilla, right? The original, I don't know, company behind the videos or something like that. But this one's pretty cool. And I've actually used this one in videos. Shit. Here we go. I put like firecrackers in his mouth and stuff, and it was a good time. I think it stands about 6 inches tall. It's very light plastic, not too much articulation. But it has 4 points of articulation. But look at the face. I mean, it looks like, looks kind of cool. Although he looks like he has makeup on or something, or just blood around his mouth, which I'm sure is what I would have visualized when I was a kid. Oh, actually it has 5 points of articulation, the tail as well. Now here's the NECA one. This NECA one is one of my favorites. This is from Godzilla GMK. Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. All Out Monsters Attack, or something like that. It's the GMK Godzilla, alright? I believe it's from the 90s or early 2000s. And Godzilla actually dies in that, and his heart, however, is still beating at the bottom of the ocean, so I guess he didn't technically die. And I believe the idea is that he would regenerate over time after he got destroyed. He's actually a villain in that film. He's a nemesis. It's pretty cool. You guys should check it out if you haven't yet. But yeah, this one is awesome. It's by NECA. It's very heavy plastic. This is like 3 or 4 times the weight of the other one I just had in my hand. You can just tell that it's more dense plastic. There's some rubberized features about it. And the attention to detail on it is very impressive. But check it out. I mean, his neck has a point of articulation. Even his head separately, it's pretty damn impressive. And his mouth closes and opens. And his arms, his hands, his wrists pivot, all sorts of things. His feet pivot, and he even has an articulation at his knee. Yeah, there's just so much articulation. Even his midsection, his abs, and his tail has several points of articulation. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 points of articulation on his tail. So this one is really cool. One of my favorites. And similarly, here's another one by NECA. Alright. This is the 2014 Godzilla, the MonsterVerse Godzilla. This, I believe, is the first Godzilla figure that I attained. I bought this thing new. And his mouth articulates. It's a lot like the other one that I just showed. His arms articulate, his wrists, all that. The tail, holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 4 points of articulation on his tail. Look at that tail movement. And then it's even like rubbery at the tip. So it's totally flexible at the tip. And his legs, but yeah, this one is cool, and these are great for stop motion. I made a few stop motion Godzilla videos in the past. It's very hard plastic. These things are very sharp. His dorsal plates are very sharp. So if you get this one, just be cautious. You know, don't poke yourself or drop it on somebody or something. I think the 2019 version, the King of the Monsters version, the dorsal plates changed. So, and probably in the toy, I would guess they're a bit more rubberized. The edges are a bit more rounded and things like that. And it looks cool as well. So I wouldn't mind eventually getting the 2019 King of the Monsters NECA version of Godzilla, or for that matter, the Burning Godzilla version from King of the Monsters as well. Now here's one by Bandai. This is Bandai 2005. Now this is similar to the first one that I showed, only different time, you know. This is 20 years later. So 20-year span right here in Godzilla toys. But one's Bandai, of course, and this one's just some random Imperial brand is what it's called. But the Bandai one, very limited in articulation. In fact, the tail doesn't even articulate. Only the arms and have 1 point of articulation. The head, 1, 2, 3. So there's 5 points of articulation in total. These ones I know collectors really like. Ones like this, or that Imperial one for that matter, and another one I'm about to show you. But when it comes to detail, man, these NECA ones are just so cool. Like, even though I can understand the collectors wanting these ones, and some of them go for a lot. You guys should see what like the Gigan goes for, or just other Godzilla monsters. Batra, you know, they're just so rare. But their quality is about on par with this. And yet with NECA, you get this amazing quality for a pretty fair price, because NECA is a big manufacturer. And, you know, so they produce a lot of them. So the rarity isn't quite there as it is with the older ones, which is why those prices are just, they go for pretty damn high prices. All right. They're just value, you know, the perceived value and just the scarcity and all that. So some folks out there are willing to pay a lot of money for them. Here's a Kong figure. This is from like the Peter Jackson King Kong, which is a pretty good movie. I have that on Blu-ray. Kind of dark in tone, kind of depressing, kind of long. But it has some interesting qualities about it. You know, the CGI is pretty cool. The action sequences are cool. The acting's pretty good. So, and there's dinosaurs in it and all that. So it's a cool movie, man. You guys should check that out if you haven't seen it yet. The Peter Jackson King Kong. I believe that came to theaters in 2005. Now this one I just attained recently at a thrift store. All right, and this is Burning Godzilla from back in the day. This one's dated 1995. Interesting. So I have a 85, a 95, and a 2005. This is probably my favorite out of the between the Bandai and the Imperial one. Just the coloration and stuff. You know, Burning Godzilla is awesome, right? And he's known to be the most powerful Godzilla. Where did he went burning back in the day as well. I can't remember who he was fighting against. Let me know in the comments below. Was he fighting against Destroya? When did he go burning Godzilla? I think it was when he was fighting against Destroya. The oxygen destroyer, did that kill his ass? I don't remember how it happened, man. I don't remember what happened. He was about to blow up and destroy the entire world or something like that. And I gotta refresh my memory on that and maybe watch some of those older videos. But yeah, this figure's pretty cool. A Burning Godzilla. This one's by Bandai as well. Oh shit. Bandai 2001. Alright, but there's another trademark on it that says 1995. I don't know, but yeah, this was made in 2001. Awesome. Probably the trademark might be from, that might be Godzilla vs. Destroya 95. Maybe that's what that's from, I don't know. This is my last one I'm going to show. This is probably the most least, or the least liked Godzilla film out there, right? The Godzilla 2000 or whatever you call it, 98, 99, I can't remember. It was in 98 or 99, the American film. And this weird version of Godzilla was the star. And he was quite vulnerable. You know, helicopters and missiles and things like that and tanks could really hurt him and eventually even kill him, I think. I can't remember exactly how it went, but you know, he would run away from the military. And we never really saw that to such an extent as we did in this Americanized Godzilla film, where he would just run away. He was scared because it was evident they would do a lot of damage to him. Rockets, missiles, other artillery would do great damage to him. So, and he was kind of lean and fast. I think he was kind of inspired by like the T-Rexes from Jurassic Park, because this was around that era. You know, The Lost World came out in 96 or 97, and then a couple years later this film came out, and Jurassic Park and The Lost World were such massive hits that I think they kind of went for like more of the T-Rex feel with this Godzilla. It was still really big, but it wasn't near the size of the other Godzillas. Like he wouldn't tower over buildings at all. In fact, he'd hide behind buildings. Like buildings would be like this much taller than him in some instances. All right, but I thought the design was cool. I remember I was a kid when this film came out, and I didn't realize how much it actually sucked back then. But you know, I did think he looked cool. He kind of reminded me of like a dinosaur. And he even has an action feature. Look at that. Yeah, he turns on his own, and he does the growl thing. Pretty cool. And I think that's it out of my figures that I'm going to showcase. I have a massive Godzilla figure. He's based on the 2014 film. I showed him in a few videos of mine. He's like this long and like this high. It's just really cheap plastic, and he's kind of lightweight for his size. Not much detail on him. You know, just kind of a cheap construct. So I don't care much for it, and I didn't really feel like hauling it around up here. Other than that, I have a Leonard, I think is the maker of this toy. It was the Skull Island Kong toy, and he's about this tall as well. It's kind of similar to that large Godzilla, where I just feel like it's very cheap, just hollow, light plastic, not too much detail. But I used them for some videos as well. I just didn't feel like hauling them up here. But other than that, this is my collection, and I want to get more, because I don't really like those two big ones, you know what I'm saying? They just don't really impress me at all. But they have their purpose, and some folks, they like the big toys, and probably some little kids would like the big toys as well. But I like the detailed ones by NECA, for example, so I would like to pick up a few more of those. So let me know in the comments below, what are your favorite Godzilla figures of all time, and which ones do you recommend that I get? I'm the Iceman. Peace be with you.